Okay, for assignment 4, you're going to be combining a bunch of pictures with yourself in it. So I'm going to show you an example. I took a whole pile of pictures yesterday. I'm going to take my move tool, which is right up here, and I'm going to click and drag one photo on top of another one. So you see on the previous photo I was on the right side of the screen, now I'm on the left side of the screen. And when I drag this into place, I should have, in theory, the same background, but to make sure that everything is lined up, we turn down the transparency to see, and as you can see, things aren't lined up very well. So I'll just use my move tool and then I'll fine tune it with my arrow keys until everything starts to come into focus. And then I'll turn up my opacity. And now it's a simple matter of using a layer mask. So if I go to layer and I choose layer mask, I can either choose reveal or hide all. If I go hide all, you can see it hides the one photo with me on the right side of the screen and reveals the one underneath. So if I want to show me on the right side of the screen, I just simply take my paintbrush tool, which is B for brush, where I can select it here in the tool palette, and I can just paint myself in. But you can see nothing's happening right now, and that's because my colors are set to black and white. If I hit the little arrow key here, or if I hit X on my keyboard, I can switch those around, and now I can paint myself into the picture. So you may have to do a little bit of fine-tuning with your painting. Because this is just a quick example, I'm not going to be too fussy about how this looks. We just want to give you an idea of what to expect. So if I want to switch back and forth with my painting, I just hit X on my keyboard, and then I can paint back and forth. Okay, and so now I'm going to add another layer on top of that. So I've used this one, so I'll close it. So I'll just click on the X up there, and I'll take another one here. I'll close this one, it's not very good. Don't really need it. So we'll take this one, so I'll take my move tool, which is V on the keyboard. I'll drag it across on top of the other one, and we'll try to line things up as best we can. And again, we'll just use that opacity, turn it down just to make sure that everything does line up the way it's supposed to. Now the ironic thing with this is that I used a tripod, so everything should be exactly the same every time I line this up, and you can see it's not. And the simple fact is that sometimes when you hit the button on your tripod, you're going to move it a little bit. So I'm going to use another layer mask here. So I'm going to use a hide all again, and then I'll just take my paintbrush and I'll paint myself in over here. There we go. And we'll switch over to the other file. We'll close it up because we've used it, so we don't accidentally use it twice. And here we go. Here's another one. So I'll just take my move tool and we'll drag it into place. Try to line it up. Turn down the opacity so we can see it getting lined up. That's pretty good. And we'll turn that opacity back up. And then we go layer, layer mask, hide all, and again you just paint this in. There we go. Like I said, I'm not going to be too fussy about this. Now, if I want to zoom in, I can go Command plus and minus on my keyboard, because you will, need to fine tune this a little bit. And I'll just use maybe a harder to edge brush just along my back here, so we can still reveal the other me behind there, just like that. See, my shirt need to be tucked in. Okay, there we go. So that's another one done. Close that one. Now let's This one here is going to be a little trickier just because it's at a desk. Maybe I'll do that one last. Okay, so we'll use this one here. I'll drag it over, put it into place, turn down the opacity. I think you're probably going to get a pretty good feel for this as you go through it. There we go. And again, layer mask, choose hide all, and then I can just paint myself in. I'll choose a soft edged brush though. There we go, and we'll increase the size of the brush. So increase and decrease size of the brush is your right and left brackets on your keyboard. Okay. And we just keep doing this again and again. So by the time I'm finished, you'll see the end product in a few minutes, and then we'll get you to try it out. Okay, so yeah, that's what the process looks like. We'll show you the end product in just a minute. So there's the finished composite. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of me in here. You'll see that there's some flaws. I mean, certainly I did this quickly, but you guys get the idea that you can easily combine these just by using layer masks. And that would be assignment number 4.